Linux, formerly known as Backtrack Linux, is an open-source, Debian-based Linux distribution aimed at advanced penetration testing and security auditing. It does this by providing common tools, configurations, and automations which allows the user to focus on the task that needs to be completed, not the surrounding activity. Let's take a look at the top 15 Kali Linux tools you need to know. Number 1. Nmap. Nmap is used to discover hosts and services on a computer network by sending packets and analyzing the responses. It provides a number of features for probing computer networks, including host discovery and service and operating system detection. We can say that Nmap helps us gain insight into the current network we're on and gather more information about other devices. For instance, we're currently in a network that falls under a Class C network. Let's find out who's on this network. As you can see, Nmap has discovered several devices. Let's see if any of the standard ports are open on this network. In this example, we're using 443 and 80 as standard ports and employing three-way handshaking. Now we know that certain addresses have the requested ports open or filtered, indicating they're running specific web services. This is just a small glimpse of what Nmap can do. Let's move on to the next tool. Number 2. Metasploit. If Nmap is used to find hosts and services, then Metasploit reigns as the top penetrating framework, utilized by security engineers as both a penetration testing system and a development platform enabling the creation of security tools and exploits. This framework simplifies hacking for both attackers and defenders. Right now, we're launching the Metasploit console and searching for the VSFTP daemon as chosen in this example. Additionally, we can use the Show Options option to get more information, but it's best utilized in conjunction with the previous tool, Nmap. Metasploit is a very serious tool if used properly. Let's move on to the next tool. Number 3. Wireshark. Wireshark is a tool for analyzing packets, commonly used in network troubleshooting, protocol development, and education. Cybersecurity professionals frequently rely on Wireshark to track connections, inspect suspicious network transactions, and detect spikes in network traffic. Currently, we're monitoring network connections in real time. We capture entire streams of traffic, allowing us to pause, filter, and analyze specific network packets. This enables us to visualize complete conversations and network streams. In some cases, communications are encrypted. Wireshark can't decrypt it. However, it can assist with decryption when utilized correctly. To effectively use Wireshark, you must have a solid understanding of how networks operate. This includes knowledge of processes like the three-way TCP handshake and familiarity with various protocols such as TCP, UDP, DHCP, and ICMP, among others. Let's move on to the next tool. Number 4. Hydra. Hydra is a parallelized login cracker which supports numerous protocols to attack. It is very fast and flexible. So, in this example, we'll attempt to access a remote Linux server. We'll be using a dictionary attack instead of a password spray attack. To get started, we need to create 2 text documents, passwords and users. In both documents, we'll input random information that we'll use for the dictionary attack to expedite the process of obtaining credentials on this server. Let's quickly check using Nmap what's located at the address 1.6. As we can see, port 22 is open, indicating that the SSH service is active and listening for new connections. This gives us the opportunity to test Hydra. Bingo! We now have a username and password for this server. Let's attempt to connect to this server via SSH. Success! We now have full control over this server. This tool makes it possible for researchers and security consultants to show how easy it would be to gain unauthorized access to a system remotely. Number 5. John the Ripper. Just as its name suggests, it will tackle any challenge you put in front of it. For instance, right now we have a hash that we don't know the algorithm or meaning of. The first step we need to take is to identify which hash algorithm is being used when we talk about cryptography. We'll use a hash identifier to find that out. Now we know it's the SHA-1 algorithm, which will make it easier for us to decrypt it in the next step using the John the Ripper application. Success, the content hidden behind SHA-1 is called test. The difference between Hydra and John the Ripper is that John the Ripper can be used offline. John the Ripper supports hundreds of hash and cipher types, including user passwords, encrypted private keys, file systems, disks, and archives. Number 6. Burp Suite. Burp Suite is an integrated platform and graphical tool for performing security testing of web applications. The suite includes tools such as a proxy server, an indexing robot, an intrusion tool, a vulnerability scanner, and an HTTP repeater. It supports the entire testing process, from initial mapping and analysis of an application's attack surface through to finding and exploiting security vulnerabilities. In this case, we'll conduct a test intercept of traffic using a specialized viewing window. As you can see in the background, we can review all the activities that occurred during the request sending. By using HTTP history, we can subsequently utilize the existing information we obtained earlier. Number 7. Nikto. Nikto, also known as Nikto 2, is a web server scanner which performs vulnerability scanning against web servers for multiple items, including dangerous files and programs. Let's test his basic abilities and see how he operates. We'll use the SSL switch to reduce the scanning time. As we can see, we have a comprehensive overview of information such as server IP address, host name, current listening port, SSL information, and so on. Nikto is a really excellent tool where we've had the opportunity to confirm some of its fundamental capabilities. Number 8. Skipfish. Skipfish is used for information gathering and testing the security of websites and web servers. Skipfish is the easiest and one of the best tools for penetration testing. In this example, we'll analyze the web server at address 1.2 and save a detailed report for later use and analysis. This tool functions and makes a map on the console of the targeted site using recursive crawl and dictionary-based probes. This tool gives us all the security checks that are active in the domain. Lastly, this tool generates a report which can be further used for security assessments. As you can see, Skipfish provides a detailed report where you can analyze the entire content from a security standpoint afterward. Number 9. Hashcat. Hashcat is a great tool for cracking passwords offline using the power of your graphics processor unit computational power. It can process an astounding number of password guesses per second, cutting down the time it takes to crack password hashes. In this example, since we don't have any information, we'll use a brute force attack. Hashcat has finished. Let's check the result. Bingo. The password is test. Brute force attacks still have initial use in that you can exhaust every guess of fast hashes up to generally 8 characters and then focus on longer passwords. Number 10. Maltego. Maltego is a link analysis software used for open-source intelligence, forensics, and other investigations. Maltego offers real-time data mining and information gathering, as well as the representation of this information on a node-based graph, making patterns and multiple-order connections between said information easily identifiable. For example, If we wanted to find all the IP addresses associated with a specific website, we could select the website entity and use it as a trigger to extract and gather all the data. Maltego is a very serious tool when used correctly. Number 11. Beef. Browser Exploitation Framework. Basically, the idea is to hook the browser from a client on the targeted network to your Kali Linux instance. Currently, we're setting up testbait on our host to explore something new. Clicking on the shortcut link will allow the server to gather various information from the host, including browser details, language settings, monitor resolution, mouse activity, camera and microphone usage, hardware information, and additionally, we can leverage social engineering and more. Number 12. Lins. Linus is a battle-tested security tool for systems running Linux, macOS, or Unix-based operating system. It performs an extensive health scan of your systems to support system hardening and compliance testing. The software determines various system information, such as the specific OS type, kernel parameters, authentication, and accounting mechanism, installed packages, installed services, network configuration, logging, and monitoring. Using Linus, you can periodically scan your systems for the latest vulnerabilities and keep your hosts secure. Number 13. Autopsy. The Autopsy is a cyber forensic tool used for the analysis of Windows and Unix file systems, NTFS, FAT, FFS, ext2fs, and ext3fs. It can also be used to recover deleted files and also show various sectors of uploaded images, making it easier to make an in-depth analysis of the image. Version 2 of Autopsy is written in Perl, and it runs on all major platforms including Linux, Unix, macOS, and Windows. It relies upon the Sleuth kit to analyze the disk. Number 14. Crunch. Crunch is a word list generating tool that comes pre-installed with Kali Linux. It is used to create custom keywords based on word lists. It generates a word list with permutations and combinations. We could use some specific patterns and symbols to generate a word list. When an attacker uses thousands or millions of words or character combinations to crack a password, there is no surety that any of those combinations will work. This collection of different combinations of characters is called a word list. And in order to crack a password or a hash, we need to have a good word list that could break the password. So to do so, we have a tool in Kali Linux called Crunch. Number 15. Fierce. Fierce is a semi-lightweight scanner that helps locate non-contiguous IP space and host names against specified domains. It's really meant as a precursor to nmpap, Unicorn Scan, Nessus, Nikto, etc., since all of those require that you already know what IP space you are looking for. This does not perform exploitation and does not scan the whole internet indiscriminately. It is meant specifically to locate likely targets both inside and outside a corporate network. This was the top 15 Kali tools that you must know. And to all other security professionals out there, keep up the good work.